color street. I think it's great because it gives you just perspective outside of just our four walls. Sometimes, you know, we get so caught up in the ins and outs of our own business that we can't take our mind like out to the outside and look at it with a bird's eye view. Hey, Tracy. So I wanted to do this topic so fast. That's why I am doing it for you tonight, because I got home and I implemented it immediately. And it was like the biggest, I've been working with Kimberly for about 9 months now. And this was probably the thing that blew my mind the most. And it's so simple, but I really do see it having an immediate impact. So I want you guys to think about, as you start working in your businesses, I want you guys to think about how you feel when you, let's just say you are able to devote a full day, not like, you know, the whole day, but a day, hi Tiffany, to your Color Street business. I want you to think about at the end of the day sometimes, do you feel exhausted? Do you feel like, what did I even do, right? If that's you, in the comments, let me know, amen, okay? Do you feel like sometimes you're spinning your wheels and you just don't know what to do to work on your business? Because I do, right? Or I did. I had all these lists and I had my planner filled out and I had semi-work hours, like I knew when I wanted to work. But when I would sit down to work, I'm like, I have so many things to do that sometimes, like, you guys, my husband would walk into my office just last week and I would be sitting there and I would just burst into tears because I had so many things on my list. I didn't know how I was going to get to them all. And then by the evening, if I had an evening meeting, which a lot of our stylists need, I was so exhausted because I had to maintain that brain and that mindset all day long, all the way until sometimes 10 o'clock at night, that I felt like I just ran 2 marathons, right? So that is why this truly is just mind-blowing for me, because it's just a different way to look at your scheduling so that you're taking care of your people, you're strategically scheduling things that you need to schedule, but you're not trying to do it all at one time. So super excited, all right? The first thing before we get into the scheduling piece is that Kimberly talks about the principles of a leader. She calls it of the all-in leader. All in. We're all in, right? You're all in. You guys, we have like the most amazing company. That was also solidified by going there and talking with women all around that were from different companies. We literally have it made in the shade. Even if times are tough right now, if you feel like you're down, we have it made in the shade. So the first thing she says, there are principles of the all-in leader. These are like your different, I pictured as like your different leader hats that you wear, okay, as someone in the business that has a large team. So the first one is the human element. And she urges over and over and over again that when you are in front of your team, with your team, working with your team and your business, that you do it as a human first. So when you're working your business as a human, your focus is the connection. The connection. And that's why the front of my planner says lead with heart. This is, in my opinion, this is my strength out of these 3 categories. She had us also kind of reflect on our biggest strength. I feel like the human connection is what makes the difference. It's what makes people stay. It's what makes people want to do this business. You know, even when things might not be going well, having a human outlook on situations as you approach them with your team, even with your customers, makes all the difference. I promise you. That is why people stay in this business. You know, if people are struggling and we shut them out or we have a nasty tone with them, even if they need some tough love once in a while, there's a way to do that because we're not anybody's boss, right? Everybody comes to this business on their own accord and they can leave on their own accord just as easily. So the human element is what it affects what you want. How your team is impacted, it creates those trusting relationships. We're taking care of people with intention and the business will follow. I promise you guys, where you are human, it will create business. Okay, so she says always be a human first, and we'll get to what you can do in that category, but I want you to understand the categories first, okay? So the human is, this is a little cheat word for it to help you. Hold on. Human was there was one word, hold on, looking through my notes, that each one of these kind of encompassed. The human is the want. Okay, next is the CEO. The CEO is what is needed. What is needed? So a CEO of the business is all about strategy. So the human is about the connection, okay? The CEO is the strategy, okay? This is what you need. So human is want, CEO is need. Can you picture your teams right now and think about looking at them in those two different ways, right? What they need to promote may not be feasible if we're looking at it as a human.